We'll give the brother a sec.
All right, there he is. There he is.
My bad. Hold on.
God. Let us know when you're good, Ak.
Is it recording?
Yeah, but it's not showing your face. It's not showing you on the camera.
Allow incoming call, share screen, right?
God.
Share screen. Okay. It should show me now.
Oh, it shows us, Ak.
No, I'm trying.
No, we get it.
No, you all good. Hey,
yeah.
Take your time, Ak. Take your time.
No, now it is. I'm seeing
all right,
myself.
So now take it off of share screen.
Yeah. It's actually showing your physical screen. So if you were to look up precepts, it might be able to show those.
Okay.
So yeah,
there you are. All right, good. All right, go ahead, Ak Yeshaya. Go ahead.
Shalawam. I would like to start this camp out, or this video session going over Gad, Asher, and Naphthali, giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah. BAHASHAM. Yahawashi. BAHASHAM.
Qadash.
Double honors unto the elders. Salakia.
It's all good, Ak.
Damn, I was getting a phone call. We're gonna have to
redo that. Go ahead.
God. Let's go ahead and get that intro in again. Hold up. Let me hang up. Let me try to join on my iPad. It's because I had it on my iPad, but it's at 2%, and they blocked me off earlier.
Let's start it over. I know Kaya's already recording, so.
God. Let me go ahead.
Let's do it over. Don't worry about
it. God. Shalawam. These are the brothers Yeshaya, 𝐉𝐄𝐄𝐅𝐿, and 𝐤𝐄𝐄. And we would like to start this camp out by giving this video out by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah. BAHASHAM. Yahawashi. BAHASHAM
Qadash.
Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, the men we learn this truth from. Now today's lesson is going to be going into Gad, Asher, and Naphthali. And we're going to begin by going into Genesis chapter 49, verses starting at the top, verse 1, if the brother Chaya would like to read.
God, this is the book of Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. It says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. And if I can make quick mention, all right, the sons of Jacob consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? We are the true chosen people according to the Holy Bible, all right? So this is talking about us, okay? Verse 2, Genesis 49 and 2, it says, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Go ahead, Ak.
God, and that word, I looked up the word befall. It means to happen or to occur to anyone, whether good or bad. Whether good or bad. And to meet unexpectedly, to encounter, to befall, to cause to meet. Okay? This was a prophecy that Jacob was going over with his sons, saying that, he's telling them what would befall them or happen to them in the last days. And those last days are not referring to the ancient world, but it's referring to the last days of what happened to the Native American Indians, with the Negroes, the Latinos, all the tribes in general. So what would happen? How Esau will come over here? Well, now we know how Esau came over here and conquered the Native American Indians. He conquered the northern kingdom, and he also conquered the southern kingdom. But that was future reference. What was going to happen to us in these times, in these days? Yep.
God. Now, if the brother would like to go ahead and drop on down to verse 18 or 19, Salakia.
God. This is Genesis 49 and 19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
And that goes to show, the Gadites, which represents Israel, one of the 12 tribes, they're going to overcome in the end. So that's how we're not in the end. For people to think that the Israelites have already returned which they don't even call themselves that. They call themselves Israelis. For them to claim that this is already said and done, they're lying. The truth, a lie is but for a moment, but the truth shall be established forever. Just paraphrasing off the scriptures.
That's right.
So Israelites, including Gad, that's the name, are going to overcome in the last.
Con. So I'm going into the interlinear, into the Hebrew name Gad. All right, it says Gadah. All right, well, there's a connection between it, is God. All right, it says let me see. So it says Gad. It says troop. All right, it says seventh son of Jacob by Zilpah. We ain't got to get the scriptures. We're not trying to make this too long. We just getting to the point. But Gad is the seventh son of Jacob by Zilpah, Leah's handmaid. All right, which means what? Zilpah, she was a handmaid, which means slave. All right, she was a slave of Leah, which is one of Jacob's wives. It says in full brother of Asher. So Asher, who the brother mentioned, we're going to go into a little bit later on. They came from the same. They came from the same slave, the same handmaid. Okay. Right. Now the word Gad, you know what I'm saying? The word Gad means troop, which means a warrior. All right. Now, as the brother had me read, Gad, a troop, it says shall overcome him. All right. Now that troop, one of those troops is talking about Andrew Jackson, man. All right, President Andrew Jackson. All right, he had a hard hand, a strong hand in taking down you so-called Native American Indians, man. Okay. If a brother got a little bit of history on that, and there was another one. Hey, 𝐉𝐄𝐅𝐿YAM, what was the guy's name that you was talking about this past weekend?
General Custer.
General Custer.
Yeah.
Con.
He was actually killed by Gadites, but he tried to, he was, the Gadites didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? The Gadites didn't want to hear it. They know who the scriptures say, never trust your enemy. But I believe he took like a gunshot to the head and like 2 shots to the body. So the Gadites took him out with the guns that they provided the Gadites with.
That's right.
Brought those guns here.
God.
But it wasn't only General Custer. It was a lot of other Edomites. The history with Andrew Jackson, I believe Washington, James Monroe, or whatever president they were, they hated the Native Americans, of course, because Esau has that perpetual hatred towards Jake. Doesn't matter if you are blacks or natives, but they hate you Jakes. The scriptures say in Obadiah 1:10, we don't have to grab it, but it says the violence against thy brother Jacob, speaking about Esau, which is the so-called white man.
That's right.
So you could go into the history. Brothers could look this up for themselves. The Trail of Tears, which around like 1830 and until whatever time it was, they removed the Cherokees and like 4 other tribes from their territorial homeland and pushed them west of the Mississippi. And that was also, I believe it was a broken decree. Andrew Jackson broke a decree. And matter of fact, since we mentioned that, now we could grab this for a quick precept. Isaiah 55, I believe it's Isaiah 55 and like verse 20. Or is Isaiah 1?
Okay, all right.
Oh, it was
55.
Right, it was broken decrees made by Esau. They broke over 500 treaties, including peace treaties, which Esau keep his promise. He says, I'm gonna keep my decrees, but he never does.
Right.
But Gad always kept on accepting his devil, like believing his devil, and he kept on getting that knife to the back. Okay. Also, so you got it.
God, that was Isaiah 55 verse. Which was that?
No, it was Psalm.
Oh God.
He hath put his hands with them that be at peace with him.
God.
Let me see.
Isaiah 50. Psalm. I said Isaiah Psalm. Salakia. Psalm 55, and you can start at verse 20 all the way down to verse 21.
God.
And that overcame, of course, God was the American cavalry or the United States government.
Right.
But the way Gad is overcoming now is by brothers that are Gadites, that are in this ministry, bringing out the dirt on these Edomites and cursing them the hell out, like saying, "Look, you're not saying, yeah, you're the devil, okay? You're going into slavery. You know, only brothers in this truth are doing that. Not no, you know. Well, you do have what's that female? I'm jumping all around now. But what's that female that GMS Watchman posted? The Gadite woman.
I don't know her name, but I know what you talk about because she was talking about how Yahawashi, which if you can receive it, right? Talking to the individuals watching, if you can receive it, how Yahawashi came like a savior, basically came to the northern tribe in the Americas. Yep, that's right. So that means what? Yahawashi, who the world calls Jesus Christ, he had another incarnation, which is not widely known except among us. He came to the northern tribe and he talked to them and he supped with them, you know?
Right.
But that was his testimony, and we believe it to be true. That's how we know that what you so-called Native Americans and Latins, all right, that was over here first, the 10 tribes. Okay, we know that you're Israelites as well, you know?
She mentioned that. She said that my ancestors been here way long before these Edomites was, we know it's their Edomites, but way long before these fucking piece of shit came over here.
Colonizers.
Colonizers.
I got this precept, Doc.
You got it, Doc.
This will back you brothers up real quick. This is a Sirach chapter 28, verse 17. And it reads, the stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. So I mentioned they may have done what they did to Gad, you know, but now in these days we're breaking them with this word.
That's
all
right.
Through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Because in this world they teach, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a bunch of BS.
Words hurt.
That's that smooth
Words
tongue.
hurt.
Those are those smooth things that Esau tries to push to make his people feel okay. But that ain't gonna work. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab that one in Psalms. This is gonna be Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
That's right.
But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yeah, that's the spirit, because Esau was given a blessing, yet were they drawn swords. So Esau had that sword ready to go. Ready to go. So, and war was in his heart. Okay, because Esau is all about war. And also mentioned how his words are smoother than butter. You can't trust this devil. Okay, you can't trust what the devil tells you. But war was in his heart, right? And there was another one here. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant, which covenant means agreement or promise. Now Esau, broke? Like I mentioned, he broke over 500 peace treaties, including all type of treaties. Hey, the Black Hills Treaty, I believe that was a treaty of Laramie, something like that. But he broke over 100 treaties. You got it.
If I could bring this out real quick, Baba Kushal. So, just real quick, it was around Thanksgiving. I was watching this documentary, of course, on Gad, the so-called Native Americans, right? So I looked up on Google Andrew Jackson, because I was looking for something else, but this came up through the spirit. So Andrew Jackson, as we know, you know what I'm saying, was a great slaughterer of the so-called Native Americans. You tribe of Gad, Reuben, etc. Now it says the Indian Removal Act, which that was one of the things that came up in the documentary, and the brother also mentioned the Trail of Tears, right? It says the Indian Removal Act was signed into law by President Andrew Jackson on May 28, 1830. Authorizing the president to grant lands west of the Mississippi in exchange for Indian lands within existing state borders. Okay, so this was, somebody give me Isaiah the 10th chapter and start at verse 1. Baba Kushal, all right?
I got you up.
Khan.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
That's right, and that's an unrighteous decree, man. Just real quick, that's an unrighteous decree, man. Okay? If anybody got a land, it's because Yahawah gave it to them. These colonizers, they received the land by way of murder, by way of unrighteous decrees, man. Okay, go ahead, read on out.
Con. And this is Isaiah 10:1. And woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
That's right. That's right. Woe to them who decree unrighteous decrees and the grievousness they have prescribed, man, because that is grievous, man. All right, here it is. You got the so-called Native Americans living over here in well, I can't even say peace because they was going up, but they was in their time, right? Yahawashi, the Lord did let them dwell in peace because the Lord is merciful, right? But what? Andrew Jackson, all right, it was Christopher Columbus, starting up with him, and Andrew Jackson and the rest of them, they came over here, and what? They forced them out of certain territories and pushed them into these reservations, man. That's wicked as hell. Okay? What the scriptures say, they oppress a man in his own heritage. That's the nature of Esau Edom.
I got this one for you right quick. Micah 2:2. I'm going to read the NOT. When you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence.
That's right.
You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance.
That's right. That's right. And that's a beautiful precept because what? That's exactly what Esau Edom did. That's what he's doing to this very day, man. You know, the brothers from the seers of Israel, they was talking about it earlier in the video that I was watching. Okay, Jake and his damn Stockholm syndrome. All right, because when somebody assaults you, when somebody holds you captive, all right, at first it's uncomfortable. All right, it's not comfortable. You don't like it, but what? The longer they keep you, the more you get used to it. All right, the more you start to like it. You know,
they condition you.
Exactly. Conditioning. There's your conditioning. That's cursing. That's a curse. That classical conditioning. That's a curse for our people, man.
Right. I got another one for you. Watch. Got another. Proverbs 23, verse 10. I'll read the NOT version. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers.
There you go. Did not Esau do that? Salakia.
Don't take the land of defenseless orphans.
Are we not defense? Hey, in the time that Gad was that Gad came over here, the so-called Native Americans and the Latinos came over here to the Americas. Yes, even so, we were orphans, man. Okay, yes, we were orphans. You know, Jake, in general, we were orphans, man, because what? We pursuing it. We don't got to get it, but Jeremiah 17:4, we was discontinued from our heritage, man. Okay, I forgot exactly what Gad was calling Yahawah and Yahawashi. And even sometimes in some of their chantings, they would say Yahawah, Yahawah. Like they would do that. And then you had the Taino Indians, who goes back to the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. They called them Yaya and Yayael. You know?
Yeah, I got another one.
I got another. As soon as the brother gets down, I got this one.
Verse 6 and 7. Psalm 94, verse 6 and 7. They slay the widow and the stranger. They murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord Yahawah Yahawashi shall not see, neither shall the power of Jacob regard it.
Right, because that's the nature of Esau. Their whole act is, who seeth us, as the scriptures say. They don't think that Yahawah is observing by way of the angels all of these things, man. All right, the Lord got eyes all over the place. That's why there's so many articles. That's why there's so many history and so much history and documentaries coming out on the wickedness of these damn devils, man. All right, that's why the Illuminati is exposed, because their whole plan, their whole strategic procedure is to wipe out all of Israel, which it's not possible. You can't do it. You can't do it.
One more verse. One more verse. He that planted the ear shall he not hear. He that formed the eye shall he not see. And
right. Because Salaki, go ahead.
Also, we mentioned like the boarding schools. Esau in Canada with the Gadites had boarding schools. Yep. And what Esau would do, he would assimilate Gad into like they did with the Hellenization period. They'll have Jake's
perfect.
Not be uncircumcised any longer, eating pork, coloring, like the Gadites would color their hair blonde, bleach their hair blonde. And also in those boarding schools, it's a known fact that just last year and till this day, they're still finding corpses or bones underneath the boarding school that was heavy influenced by Esau. Okay, so they it's not only assimilated us, but they tortured us and put us underneath or in the field somewhere and buried us.
Right.
So, and those boarding schools were ran by Catholics, like Catholic priests. You know, one of the popes said, "We apologize." The Most High doesn't want to hear an apology; He wants their blood.
That's
apology or money not be accepted. You can't accept that from the hands of these devils. We ain't got nothing on this stuff. We're gonna do with the money.
That's right. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. This one I've been holding. This is Numbers 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right. That's true reparations right there. Yahawah, you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, how be it right here in this day and age, you got it. What is it, California, that's giving reparations? They gave the money to anybody who could trace their lineage back to a slave. Who the hell can do that to its 100% entirety, man? And let's not forget about the Native Americans who are our people as well, man. Okay.
What you gonna give in return?
God.
I forgot how much they gave them, Salaki. I forgot the amount, but it's like any type of money, which this ain't even real money, man. As me and the brother was talking about earlier, these are fucking Federal Reserve notes. What the hell are we gonna do with a fucking piece of paper, man?
God. And I believe the brother 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿𝐿 had sent it in the group, or maybe to me, I don't know, but how they're seeking to please the poor. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's all they're doing. You know, and I grabbed this one real quick. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentenced against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Break it down now.
There you go. Now, because the Lord isn't sending out his judgment right away. It's going to be executed here in the end. Even the scriptures make reference to vengeance is mine. You know, I believe that was the Apostle Paul writing on, I forget which book, Salakia, but I just had read it recently.
Romans.
But it's... You got it.
Con. You know, so the Lord's going to execute that judgment here in the end. You know, that the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Con. Beautiful precepts, Akim. You know, and if I can make mention of this as well, we gonna move on, Salaki. We're gonna move on. But you had it in the documentary that I was watching. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. You had it in the documentary that I was watching, which Esau pushes this whole stigma of egotism on the American society. Now, because somebody, matter of fact, Yeshaya, go ahead and give me the definition of egotism on the Google definition, Baba Kusha, because I want to bring this point out, man. It was very important when I was watching that documentary, because that's why these so-called American, that's why these fuck so-called, you are Americans, man. All right, if you're an American state of mind, you're an American.
God, this is egotism. The practice of talking and thinking about oneself excessively because of an undue sense of self-importance.
And that's exactly, so like, I'm still looking for the picture. Lord's willing, I find it. Hey, 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿𝐿, did you have something up?
I know it does mention. I want to quickly mention Salakia. Go for it. Oh yeah, it says a self-centered or selfish person, an arrogantly conceited person, and look at all these folly days.
Exactly.
It's nobody but them. Yet they welcome everyone here, and everyone can be in the churches as long as they look at the images that are of them.
That's right. Now I found a picture. 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿𝐿, did you have something up?
No, I'll wait on until we move on. I was gonna mention something, or grab a scripture in Ecclesiastes, but we'll wait on.
Okay, Khan. I found a picture. It says, this is from the documentary. It says the Indian must be imbued with the exalting egotism of American civilization so that he will say I instead of we, and this is mine instead of this is ours. And this was quoted by John Oberle, U.S. Commissioner of Indian Affairs. Okay, as I had brought out earlier, talking about the Indian Removal Act. All right, all of these Edomites, these so-called white people, they're all in cahoots, man. All right, in the government, that they push that stigma, that mark of egotism among Gad. upon Gad, because Israel, we are very community-based people, by the way. Okay, that's why you got Jake having the cookouts, the barbecues, invite everybody and their mama and their grandmama over to, like, yo, like let's get some chicken, let's eat some say what?
That sense of brotherhood.
That sense of brotherhood.
Yeah, of your father the devil, he slain his own brother. That's just how Esau moves, like his father Cain.
Kind. That's right. Beautiful point, that's right.
I'll mention something too. You got a lot of gang activity in those reservations, which it's a native Gad on Gad crime.
Lakota Sioux Indians. Lakota Sioux.
Right,
yep.
That's right. Not only there too, but all in that area is Gadite on Gadite crime, and that's what Esau wants. As long as, and that shows you we're the same people, because we suffer the same exact things. You Hispanics, you so-called blacks, you so-called Native Americans suffer the same thing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Suffer the same thing. You got all these only black Hebrew Israelites that talk about, the Native Americans ain't my brothers. They are your brothers. God. They fit the curses just like you fit the curses.
God.
It's the same way. My own in-law. She was saying she was upset. They celebrate their whole Christmas stuff, but she was upset. Her granddaughter received a black, and her from her words, a black doll. So I just kind of I toy with these people. I don't get into details, but I'm like, what's the problem with it? I was like, why would you want something that that I just even slipped in. I was like, why would you want having that white skin is being allergic to the sun? That's sad. I was like,
exactly.
I was kind of just poking at that idea of like white is right type shit. But
right.
That's that egotism. They look at they put themselves on a pedestal.
God.
That's right.
God.
That's a lot of the Native Americans too. They wear the blonde hair because they want to conform and try to be exactly like these Edomite women. God. So they're trying to be like these Edomite women.
Yep.
Okay.
Jake with his dreadlocks.
God.
Yep.
Right, I wanted to bring something out real quick.
Dealing
with the whole nation of Israel. Remember the equestrian statue? I believe that's what they called it. It was over there on the west side of Central Park. They took it down, Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, Roosevelt. Yep, yep. Right, I remember that. Yep.
But it shows the Jake on one side, and it shows the Native American Gadite on the other side. It says this Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Right. And those servants are really Esau, which now we're serving him.
That's right.
And princes walking as servants upon horses. Now we're the servants.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're the got to go to them for the need of one of all things. So that right there is that statue speaks 1,000 words. You can just look at that statue and be like, damn, these devils are proud. Right in front of them,
rubbing it in you.
Of a history museum, and they're basically telling you, we conquered you all throughout history. We conquered you. You're our servants. And the horse represents what? Power.
And
it was also President Theodore Roosevelt. They're all these presidents are all Edomite devils.
That's right.
Jake's got the nerves to go vote for them. Like, what the hell is they gonna give you? What the hell they gonna help you out with?
God.
Let's move on with the lesson though, because we got a couple more things to try to get.
God. Yep.
Did you brothers not jump into Second Ezra?
No, let's not yet. I'll go back to Genesis 49.
Read that again.
So this is Genesis 49:19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, which, we broke it down. Gad means a troop, a warrior. Okay. Which, a lot of, really all of Israel is warriors and stuff like that. But Gad is going to overcome at the last, man. All right. And once again, as the brother said beautifully, that starts with this truth. We're taking down the strongholds by way of this truth, but you got 2/3 of these so-called Native American Indians. They're gonna get busy on Esau, man. They gonna get busy on Esau, man, and the Lord is gonna execute it perfectly, right? But in the last days, as the scriptures say, this is future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. All right, but it's in the works.
Lord will give us spiritual powers. Right.
That's right.
He's going to
That's
give
right.
us power.
Con. Yep. Genesis 49:20. It says, out of Asher, his bread.
No. Genesis 33.
Con. Salakia.
Go ahead. Now, yeah, we got to cover a few more things with Gad.
Con. This is the book of Genesis chapter 33. Hold up. It was, yeah. It was 33.
33, 20, and 21.
There's no verse 21 for Genesis 33.
Deuteronomy.
Oh.
It's Deuteronomy. Salakia. Got the books mixed up.
No, it's all good. Because I was just like, I know it's 33 something. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 20. It says, and of Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He
right.
dwelleth,
So come on, let's think of the time. So the Most High what did enlarge Gad? What's that? North America and Canada. That's a lot of land. You can't say that ain't a lot of land.
That's right.
That's what it means by enlarged Gad.
God.
That's right. It says, he dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Yeah, he dwelleth like as a lion, meaning they paint their faces and it look like they have the lion-like appearance, like that fierce look of you look at like Gadite movies, they got like that strong, muscular face, and they'll look at you. It look like a lion's face because lions have that fierce look about them. They're always serious, even though they're always like they look serious. Right? And read that again.
Con. Deuteronomy 33 and 20. I'll start from the top. It says, and of Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Teareth the arm, meaning those blood sacrifices. They'll put, blood touching blood. Like they'll cut each other's arms. You got something called the sun dance and other blood rituals that they do to say what? You're of me, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. I believe that was Laban. We spoke about this. Laban or Jacob or, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, meaning you are of my people.
Right.
Like you're people. That's what that means. Like you're of my lineage. You're my family. Now I'm saying that's only referring to Israelites. They're flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. It doesn't matter if they were dwelling in Ur of the Chaldees, India somewhere, Syria. That's Padanaram, they're still your people. That's what that means. Spiritual, because we are the same people, We are the same people. Whether you had Gadite tribes co-mingling with other Gadite tribes, they're still the same people. They used to make those have those blood rituals, those blood sacrifice or blood rituals.
Right. And it's a covenant. Oh, Salakia.
We're not saying that that's something like lawful to do. I'm just saying that's what they did, as in that they're the same people. Yeah. Now, the crown represents like the feathered that they wear. Gadite, every time he would go to battle,
the headband, the headband.
He'll win a victory. They'll put the more feathers he had, the more more battles he was in, or the more feathers they put in him, the more victories he won.
Right.
During the or whatever.
But the headdress.
That's exactly what it means.
God.
Verse one more. Verse 21.
Yeah. God.
We're gonna move. We're gonna grab second Ezra, then we're gonna move on to Asher.
God.
One more.
This is Deuteronomy 33 and 21. It says, and he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated, and he came with the heads of the people.
Now, stop right there. Who are the original lawgivers?
Levite.
The Levites.
Isn't it of Levite, right? But in this case, the Gads, which is spiritual, I'm going to mention something after this is spiritual, because they orchestrated or administered whatever law they had amongst themselves as they were the Levites, because the Levites did that back then. they were like mediators between the people, and these Gadite chiefs were like mediators too.
Yep.
And remember that King Jeroboam, instead of putting Levites to be priests, he put other tribes that weren't of the priesthood to be priests. You couldn't do that. That was a violation.
Right.
Jeroboam was off when he did that. So that's spiritual. But you see how Gad was doing that here in America? They were playing as those Levites.
Right. Right. They wasn't following order, you know, and that's why Yahawashi said ultimately jacked all of Israel up, you know. But when you look at northern tribe is out of their fucking mind, bro. You know, that's why you got a lot of, you just had it. No, I ain't even gonna make mention of that, but that's why you got Gad in these reservations, like the Lakota Sioux Indians and stuff like that. That's why they're alcoholics. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the Native Americans, as far as America, they're like #1 for suicide, man. You know, these so-called Indians in the reservations, they're #1 for suicide, man. They killing. I was just watching this video a little bit earlier, talking about this kid called Robert, Robert Looks Twice. He's a Gadite, right? A so-called Native American Indian. And, you know, he was 12 years old. The video was published like fucking 11 years ago and stuff like that. But he's talking about how his mother's a cokehead. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what happened to his father, but he's basically he's been orphanized, man. You know, he's basically an orphan. But he got so many like brothers and sisters and other I think it was his grandmother who basically takes in everybody. She takes in everybody and, you know, like let them dwell there until they grow up. You know, so Gad is Northern Tribe is in a very fucking pitiful case, man. You know?
Well, the scripture should be continually oppressed. We're gonna be continually oppressed. There's a little more than that.
Yeah. So jumping back to Deuteronomy chapter 33, this is the latter half of verse 21. It says, he executed the justice of the Lord Yahawah and his judgments with Israel.
Now, Babakashah, let Yeshaya grab 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. You can start at verse 40, but I believe the point is in like 42, 43. Because God, at one time when they first came here, they were actually more obedient to the Most High. Then they started going left with it, you know, like having like serving to like the false gods, serving like birds and stuff like that, because one of their symbols is the bird. They worship the bird. Have powwows and stuff like that. That's completely off.
Right.
God, and those dream catchers too, I believe, right? Shit like that.
No, say that.
The dream catchers.
That's on the left-hand side.
God, that's what it. Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
God. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salamander, the king,
actually finish reading that up.
God, the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right. But this is going to 722 BC, where Shalmaneser V had carried the 10 tribes into Assyria, or around Babylon, Assyria, around that area. And so Shalmaneser, or the Assyrians, carried us away. And one of the tribes that were carried away was Gad.
God. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt.
Right, we can look up like the Arsareth Encyclopedia on Arsareth. Christopher Columbus identified America as that land, Arsareth, meaning another land.
God.
Another land. And also it ties in with Genesis chapter 29 and 28. If somebody wants to grab that right quick. You know, these are actually one of
You said Genesis. Hey, Yeshaya, I'll grab it. I'll grab it.
God, I'm just gonna pull it up to read along.
Y'all grab it.
You said Genesis 21 and 28?
29 and 28.
29 and 28.
29 and 28, one of those, or 28 and 29. Either or.
It's probably 28 and 29. Well, there's no 29. Hold
up. 29 and 28. 29 and 28.
Oh, okay, Con. It says Genesis 29 and 28. It says in Jacob.
Deuteronomy. Shit. I keep saying Genesis.
It's all good.
29 and 28. Maybe I did say Deuteronomy, but Deuteronomy 29 and 28.
It's all good, huh? It's all good.
It's stressed the hell out in this damn captivity, but you got it.
Con, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 28. It says, and the Lord Yahawah rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation and cast them into another land as it is this day.
Right. And that another land is talking about America. All right. Land or theta arataza, which is land, or theta, right? District, region, tribal territory. Okay, but it's talking about here in America, and also, right, and that was the point.
That's right. Con,
that next verse, verse 29, is very heavy. You know, it goes into the secret things that they belong unto the Lord. You know, because this is something that was revealed later on. Because America wasn't existed. You know, they didn't know it as America.
Right.
Yeah, because Arsaris, and you know what's crazy? This place actually used to be called Canaan as well. They called
New
America
Canaan, right?
New Canaan.
New Canaan, right? Or Canaan. That's why until this day you still got places in America or cities named after Canaan or Egypt or right.
Right. Yep. Con. That's a good point.
Con. Jumping back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, I'm going to go back to verse 41. And it reads, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And
right, so that ties to Deuteronomy 33, right? Deuteronomy 33 and verse 21. So came here, it was like calling on Yahawah, and like the brother mentioned, like the chants they would make, Yahawah, like those Hebrew characters.
Right. Con.
House those Hebrew characters out, but it's all the spirit, you know, because it damn sure don't fit these gutter rats.
No.
Don't fit nobody but us. I mean, who can it fit but us?
That's right. That's right.
People always try to. Wait a moment. So you mean to tell me they had boats and they came around the Horn of Africa? How did they do all that? They don't understand the Lord's power, man. They don't understand. Like they try to figure out, like burning brain cells, trying to figure out, like, wait a moment, what the hell are they talking about? Let's leave it alone, man. They got here. They were here way before Christopher Columbus or these Edomites or the Puritans came over here to the Americas. Okay, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's right. That's right. And that's why even now, like, even so, you got Jake in the world that's saying Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, because when you discover something, that means you uncover it. That means what? You found it and stuff like that. But Gad was already over here. So how can somebody discover something that's already been uncovered? You know, it's already been. It was already in a full effect. You know, and Gad was
of the judges thereof.
Huh?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Exactly. Now, even though there was judges and wickedness, there was orchestrated wickedness, there's still judges. You know, all of Israel is a judge. You know.
God.
Y'all got anything else to add before I jump to verse 43?
The brother's right though. I just thought about that too. They cover the faces. Like a lot of these Edomites actually try to be like the tribe of Gad. They say, you know, sometimes they'll come up to us at camp, like, I'm a Native American. Like, no, you ain't, motherfucker. Like, no, that's a form of covering. They cover the faces of the judges because, you know, they want to be everybody.
God, the Egyptian films.
Exactly.
They be dressed everywhere and all this shit.
And just to land back off of Rakah's point, right? And that's also how you know that Esau, he knows his history. These Edomites who try to play innocent and so on and so forth, yeah, my grandmother's Cherokee, yada yada, which we know the C line goes back to the father, but they try to come up with Esau can supplant too. Esau can supplant too.
They come
Just
crowd
because we was given the name Jacob or 𝐉𝐄𐄅, all right, doesn't mean the other nations they can't do it too. Esau's one of the greatest supplanters in wickedness, though. You
They're
know,
still wise serpents.
exactly. They're wise serpents. They're very surreptitious.
God. So jumping back into second. Oh, go for it.
Equab.
Equab. God.
So jumping back into 2 Ezra 13 and verse 43, it reads, "And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arzareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come."
See that? Yahawah's other sheep he has that are not of this fold. That's talking about the Native Americans. So, right. So, Arzareth, we already identified Arzareth as being America, another land. And it's talking about Arzareth. Where else is it talking about? It ain't talking about Assyria. We were taken here, but afterwards, we came around the Horn of Africa and came over here to the Americas. Let's jump down to the next tribe, Bob.
God. I'll just bring out John 10 and 16 real quick just to back you up, and then we'll move on. Baba Kushal. This is John 10 and 16. It said, and this is red letter Yahawashi speaking. It says, "And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd." All right. Also correlate, which we're not going to pull it, but correlating to Ezekiel the 37th chapter, talking about one stick for Judah and one stick for Israel, and being put together. All right. So Yahawashi, as we mentioned briefly earlier, the Gadite woman who gave a testimony of how Yahawashi came over here. He was reincarnated over here, you know. But just to land back up for the brother's point.
And that's also the tabernacles of David being the breaches being shut. You know, it ties in with Ezekiel 37. But let's jump into tribe.
God. So now moving on in Genesis the 49th chapter. This is Genesis 49 and verse 20. It says, "Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties."
Somebody want to go into that? I'll go into it. I'm a witness to it because I've been around. Now Asher would be so-called Brazilians, also the people in Venezuela, Colombia. That's Asher, and around that area, that's Asher. Now, Asher happy. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Asher means happy, right? Ashar in the Hebrew, Ashar. Now, I've been around Brazilians. Their pastries, amazing. They got something called like the custard cake. I forget. There's a name they call it. It's like custard cakes with like some cream inside.
God.
Amazing. Like their dainties, pastries, cakes. Amazing. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. You go into a Brazilian bakery. Oh my goodness. Woo! I ain't going in the morning time too. Shit. But for like breakfast too, they hook you up. Right. Read that again now.
God. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 20. It says, "Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties."
Now, check this out. It says here in the NLT, Asher will dine on rich foods and produce food fit for kings.
That's right. And just to make the point too, the brother was talking about it in the it was the brothers from Atlanta. They was talking about how like Asher loves to eat, man. You know what I'm saying? Like because when you look at Brazil, which that goes back to the Hebrew word barazol, which means brass or iron. Okay?
Right.
Brazil, that's a very fruitful and fatting land, man. Okay, because because of the resources. And so thus Asher thrives. All right. Asher is basically all of Brazil except for Argentina and Chile, which we're gonna get into later. You know, it's basically all of Brazil except for those two masses. You know, toward well, in the southernmost parts of it, but Asher, like they, and not only foods, and we're gonna get into it, but you know, they got they make a food fit for kings. All right, they got all the oil and resources. They have they're plenteous in resources. That's why you got Esau over there, and they show you in these movies like Rio, that there's a cartoon movie called Rio. It's a 3D animation, you know, for children, quote unquote. But it shows you that Esau, he's wiping out. He's trying to wipe out the Amazon rainforest, man. Okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to wipe out the Amazon rainforest because he's trying to starve Asher out. Which then that's once again how you know that Esau knows who the true chosen people of Yahawah Shem El Shah are. He's trying to wipe out the resources, man. You know.
Also, there's this movie I watched years ago called The City of God. Brothers could check that movie out. It was a violent movie. But it was like Asher, the tribe of Asher. They act just like Jake here in America. The young dudes causing trouble. They got pistols on them. Man, it's crazy out there too. The favelas, you know, they got like a compact city. Everything is like so complex. Like they got like favelas in the ghettos over there in Rio. They got over 100 ghettos on Rio alone. Rio de Janeiro is big. It's big. It's a huge city. It's a tourist attraction too. They got one of the best soccer teams. Brazil, the Brazilian soccer team.
Yep.
In the world. And they go through a lot of shit. Now going back to the name Asher, Asher means happy. You know, no matter how much you put our people through, they always seem to have a smile on it. If you look at those children over there in Asher, in Brazil, or the tribe of Asher, or Venezuela, Colombia, no matter how much hell they catch, they always have a smile. They always, it's like they you know, they get vexed. A lot of police brutality out there.
Yep.
And they be walking you like, you know, like you got, it's like a tourist attraction. They be like, come visit my ghetto. You know, people go there with their camera. Come, I'll show you my ghetto. Like TV cribs, but there's like, they'll show you the ghetto version of it. Like, come to, vem aqui pro mi ghetto, aqui a favela, para mostrar umas coisas aqui. Right? They speak like that. So, this is a Brazilian rapper named MV Bill. MV Bill. He talks about like a lot of the like, he's a political rapper, like a revolutionist, and he talks about a lot of how Jake is going through. He don't really know he's an Israelite that I know of. He don't know that he's an Israelite or whatever, but he does have some type of zeal, but not according to knowledge. At least he knows something. And and he tells you about all the heartaches and trauma that those people go through in that land.
Right.
You know, so,
like you said, they remain with that smile. I did find this Brazilian characteristics. It says the results indicate the main traits of Brazilians' personality: sensual, cunning, cheerful, creative, hospitable, like as the brother mentioned, friendly, and cordial.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go. Just as you described it, the same, you know, the little acting you gave us. That was very on point.
Like, yeah, Akim, I've been around them my whole life, and they're very friendly.
God.
They're wild too. Their women are wild. The Brazilian women, you know, they're harlots. They're a bunch of. But I've been around Brazilians, the tribe of Asher, my whole life, and I can tell you, you know what I'm saying, these scriptures don't lie. It's like you're connected to these people. You know what I'm saying? You're connected to a certain extent, I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
Because we're not poor. I want to say that, you know, you're connected to them as far as like they are your people, but if they don't get right, if they don't get right, I gotta put them to death. But Baba Kushat, could you grab that precept since you mentioned the oil? Could you grab? He said dip his foot in oil.
Yeah, that's in Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter. I'm gonna grab it in. I just wanted to make quick mention because Asher means happy, right? So, and I actually heard about this a long time ago. I don't even think I was in the truth at the time, but a long time ago. And actually, Benjamin kind of does the same thing. But there's this big ass festival that these so-called Brazilians, they throw every single year. All right, it's called Rio Carnaval. All right, which means Rio de Janeiro carnival, like a big party, you know, like a big party, you know. They throw it every single year, and you know what I'm saying, like around that, and it happens like around like summertime. So you got a lot of people, from around the world. They'll go to Brazil just to go party with them, and around that time, the fucking the airplane tickets max out. The airplane tickets, they max out because everybody's trying to get to Rio Carnaval. You know, now like I said, Benjamin, he does the same thing with these things called it's a pasa. It was this chick in the world. She's a Benjamin. She was telling me about it. You know, like basically saying that we're the same people, the so-called Jamaicans and people of Barbados and stuff like that. We're all the same people, man.
God.
You know, we like to, Jake like to, hell, you got over in America, Jake throw a damn block party every summer. We like to get down, man. Like we like to boogie. We like to have a good time. We like to eat. We like to drink. We like to fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I mean, much more things beyond those. But you know, Jake, when we celebrate, man. Okay, and that's exactly how it's gonna be in the kingdom. I'm talking about each and every single tribe is gonna have a great time, man.
God, rejoice.
You know.
Now, yeah. So the same characteristics you find in Asher, you can also find in Colombia and in Venezuela.
God.
You know, because they are like really like they always smile. You're like, what the hell? It could be a shootout in front of you. It'd be a shootout. They be still smiling. You see this in our people. Like, the Lord calls them what, a peculiar? Or like, there's a, what's that precept? He calls them like a strange people. Like, we're strange people.
Yeah.
Like, we could be going, hell, damn, it's like, who the hell wants to be in captivity? They still smiling. They go to prison.
God, that positive mindset they be blessed with.
Yeah. Like crazy, man. This is hell, man. The scriptures say the captive exile hasteneth to be loose. Nobody wants to be in this damn body, man, forever, man. I'm tired of this shit, man.
That's right.
Especially with age, you see it time and time. It's just gravity constantly pulling down on you and shit.
Baba Kushak, could you grab Deuteronomy 33? If nobody got a precept?
God, I'm right here in Deuteronomy 33.
Okay.
God, let your
Con, which verse would you like to begin with?
He should dip his oil, his foot in oil.
Con, let me see if I can find it.
Or dip his feet in oil. That's 24 through 25. Deuteronomy 30.
This is Deuteronomy 33, verses 24. And it reads, and of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days so shall life. God.
Okay, let him dip his foot in oil. Now, Venezuela had one of the largest oil reserves back in 2020. Brazil also is a very huge supplier of oil, whether crude oil or whatever, but they have a lot of oil. Colombia, that area is known for its oil. So this proven fact, because back then where the tribes were dwelling, what oil? It ain't talking about olive oil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't talking about olive oil.
Right.
So it's right here in South America. That's how you know this is our people. Yep. And people always want to ask us, or they try to like buck up against the 12 tribe chart. Like, how do you know this stuff? You guys, how can you just say these people are these people and that? It's characteristics, man. It's the spirit.
Right. It's definitely
in you. You don't feel it. You can feel it. That the 12 tribe chart is perfect. You can feel, oh, well, High Priest Ariyah put it together back in such and such. It's the spirit. He was right. He was right. Yep. And the Lord gave him that dream or that vision for him to what? To put the 12 tribe chart together. And that's why we got to go out there. And it's crazy. If he's wrong, want you Christians to break down Ezekiel chapter 37 and tell us what that stick means.
Right.
We know 12 tribe chart back then. We knew we had records of who we are. So if the man is wrong, then prove us wrong and break down Ezekiel 37 and break that down to us and tell us what it means.
Right.
You can't just have a dream like that in a leadership position and have a dream like that and totally be off. It doesn't. The Lord, see how the Lord uses.
It's
like
become fruitful as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just as many people hate on it, it's bringing in more and more on top of it. You know.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful point. Because the more vocab tries to demonize and buck up against the 12 tribe chart, then guess what? The more they prove it. Now, but they will say this, but you'll have certain Israelites also, they'll say, well, the tribe of Gad is in Africa. Oh, but they can be in Africa, but they can't be over here.
Yeah.
but don't we bring out precepts like our people are scattered everywhere?
Yep.
Exactly. Right. And now if they Salakia, so just real quick, if they stumble on things like that, how much more the Israelite foreigner doctrine? Because they still can't understand the word Gentile in the New Testament. You know, they can't understand because they're spiritually discerned, man. They can't pursuant to Isaiah 6 and 9. They won't. The scriptures say make the heart of this people fat. All right, meaning what? Give them ignorance. Give them that spiritual blindness, that spiritual deafness, man. All right, they can't. These Christians, these wacky tacky Christians, they can't receive the fact that people are scattered, man. It's like, well, shit. On a basis level, don't you and your fucking family travel to other countries?
That's the wild point.
You know what I'm saying?
Gather up, you know.
Yeah, like is a cruise ship far fetched? Don't you go on cruise ships and fucking airplanes? All right, which what? That's proof that we traveled in the ancient world. You know, travel was a part of the ancient. The scriptures talk about chariots and horses. All right, we had transportation.
Yeah, these people are bugged out.
God,
these people are bugged out. Right, because they're trying to ultimately, like for example, the tribe of Judah coming over here to America. How can we prove they're them? Well, didn't they come here on slave ships? I mean, it's obvious. Okay, the Benjamites, and you can just tell because brothers are connected with that spirit. Like we understand there's a vibration when we use the 12 tribe chart. There's a vibration, and it's a heavy vibration. You know, if these people can't get it, we're not gonna be there trying to break everything down to them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
It doesn't make sense for us to sit there for an hour for somebody that just doesn't get it. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, people, they don't want to get it at the end of the day.
Right. That's why the scriptures say, Salakia.
No, I was just gonna mention, they just want to stick around to try to convince you on why, you know, they don't believe it and why you shouldn't.
God.
That's what
they're trying to teach
demons.
The scriptures say Yahawashi didn't come to be ministered unto, but to minister, to serve.
That's right.
You got people trying to tell us what they believe in, but they don't even know their nationality.
Right.
What's your nationality? Oh, what does that got to do? What does that got to do? even Barack, the HODC, I remember him saying this. Barack from the HODC, right? He's not really teaching the correct doctrine, but I will give him this. He said that he asked the Edomite, "What's your nationality?" Or he's like, "Oh, I don't know." He says, "He's like, even a dog knows its nationality." Even a dog knows its owner. That's what he said. Even a dog knows its owner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our people don't even consider. We don't know. The ox knows his owner. The ass is
master's credit.
He's like, even a dog knows its owner. And the way he said it was hilarious. I'm like, oh, he got that. He got that. You know, the man, right. You got it.
Go ahead, Yeshaya.
Con. So jump in now. Are we going back to Genesis 49?
No, 33. Do we have any more on that Asher?
No, he's got to finish it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, yeah, Deuteronomy 33.
Yeah.
God, Deuteronomy 33, verse 25. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And over there too, they produce a lot of like all like elements. They got a lot of elements and stuff like that.
It's resourceful.
Rich in resources. You know, the Most High is not going like fully just let us be oppressed. Like as far as like at least I have nothing. Like brothers in His truth, you can't be over righteous. If a brother drinks yayan, you be like, man, the brother is stressed out. Let him drink yayan, but don't overdo it. Of course, we tell brothers don't overdo it. Or a brother wants to go to the movies. Okay, watch the movie. I don't even like going to movies. I'm like, I thought it was a good idea. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be over rights. Brothers listen to instrumentals. Oh, he's going off because he listens to an instrumental. Like, come on, no, man, no. Because I listen to instrumentals, but you know what I do when I do listen to those? I meditate on scriptures, not meditate like niggas just put the headphones on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bopping your head in the world. We ain't like that, man. We meditate on these scriptures.
Exactly. If I can say this real, and Yeshai probably know what I'm talking about. There's this expression of, there's this meme actually, or whatever, because 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐿 had mentioned instrumentals. We don't wake up and choose violence, man. We don't wake up and choose violence. Like, we don't wake up and listen to all of that rah-rah nigga shit, man. You know, I know, like, this is just a detail of the point, but you cannot be over righteous in this truth, man. All right, you like, there's no brother in this truth, no sincere brother in this truth that's gonna sit in front of the fucking computer screen and look at videos all the time, 24/7. Like, it's not going to. You're not supposed to do that. That's why the scriptures say what? There's a righteous man that perished in his righteousness, man. All right, you're gonna die being over righteous, man.
And the Most High hates that too, because the scriptures say what? Being over righteous can actually, you can destroy yourself because you're not so balance.
Yep.
Balance. Now, here's one to prove that. This is a rock for Ecclesiastes 14:14. Defraud not thyself of a good day. And let not the part of a good desire overpass thee.
That's right.
That's right. Brother can't drink no yayan. Like, damn. That's the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But we don't overdo it. We don't overdo it. But like, listen to instrumentals. Why are you listening to that instrumental? Is it off? Is it off according to the scripture? Show me a precept to back. Where there's no law is, there's no sin.
Exactly. Hey, didn't King David play the harp? Didn't he play the harp? Is that going on? You got a whole book in the Bible called Psalms, you know?
With me songs. All right, there we go. I think we touched the point on gave a very, we broke down Gad. I mean, we could go on and on for days, but we broke down Gad, the tribe of Gad, broke down Asher.
Now Naphthali.
And next is Naphthali.
That's right. Yeah. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 21. It says, Naphthali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words.
Let's stop right there. A hind let loose. Now, a hind is what? Like a deer, right? Like a deer. Now, in South America, in that area where Naphthali is at, there's a lot of deers, like in that area. A hind let loose.
Right.
Okay? There's a hind let loose. And that's also referring to the cattle. You know, they can have other spiritual, but it's referring to like the cattle, like deer and stuff like that, or in that area. A hind let loose, all right, because they do have a lot of land there, and a lot of those Argentina is, a lot of that land is what's that word, man? It's called something land. It's a word for land. They got a vast majority, a big portion of land.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. They ain't got to be all. But go ahead,
that was really the scripture on Naphthali. Now, the word Naphthali in the Hebrew, in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Qadash, is Naphthaliya, right? Which means wrestling. Okay. Now going into, going back to the brother's point that there's a lot of deer over there that also represents Naphtali's personality, right? So brothers bought out, the Atlanta brothers have bought out the gaucho, right? So this is the Wikipedia for gaucho. It says a gaucho is a skilled horseman reputed to be brave and unruly. It says the figure of the gaucho is a folk symbol of Argentina, Uruguay, Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil, and the South Chilean Patagonia. Now Naphthali is mainly, his dwelling place is mainly in Argentina and Chile, all right, at the southernmost parts of South America. It says gauchos became greatly admired and renowned in legend, folklore, and literature, and became an important part of their regional cultural tradition beginning late in the 19th century after the heyday of the gauchos, where they were celebrated by South American writers. So basically the point of gaucho is basically a cowboy. A gaucho is basically a cowboy because it says, even in the Wikipedia definition, he's wild and unruly. Okay, so those are the westernized, Americanized cowboys, and so on and so forth. The outlaws, if you will. And that's the personality of Naphthali, And the brother also mentioned in the video that like they're real big on like eating steaks, and they're famous for like their wine imports. I mean their wine exports,
Yeah, the wineries.
Wineries.
I'll back you up right quick. Deuteronomy 33 and verse 23. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessings of the Lord.
That's right. God, and full with the blessings of the Lord, man. So like, read that one more time. I feel like it's something I missed.
Chapter 33 and verse 23. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with blessing of the Lord Yahawah Yahawashi.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you got Naphthali, these Argentinians and Chileans. You know what? Like they live good, man. They live good. They eat good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you look at a lot of these like when you go to these liquor stores and you look at the wine, a lot of them come from Chile. Like Chile is big for their wine exports, man. Okay, like what is it called? The I forgot what it was called. But it's like a certain type of wine that they drink to red wine in general, it breaks down like the real heavy meats and stuff like that. That's why like wine in moderation is good for breaking down food, so that way, it help you, it gives you a solid stool. It gives you a solid stool. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Naphthali is they're big, and I forgot the name of the wine, man. It's not a Cabernet. What is it? It's a hold on. So like, I'll find it. I'll slide. If a brother got anything, go ahead. I'll bring it out later on.
So First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities. Now I believe that Timothy had a stomach ailment. So what he did was drink wine. I believe he's referring to Timothy, but he had like a stomach ailment. And back then, the wine will actually relieve that ailment. Whatever ailment he was going through, we don't know. But it said that drink that wine for your stomach. So there's nothing wrong with Timothy drinking.
Right.
And I say for his stomach's sake. And it helped him through that pain or whatever agony and pain he was going through.
Right.
So drink is not going off. But in moderation, you drink in moderation. We drink wine at the Passover. So it's not going off.
And by the way, that's a commandment too. What the brother just said, for you, for you sincere, brothers and sisters listening, that's a commandment to hold the Passover first and foremost. All right, to hold the Passover, the Pesach. All right, you have to drink wine on the Passover, man. All right, no excuses. You have to drink wine. You have to eat lamb or goat, okay, on the Passover. That is a commandment, by the way. All right. So when the Passover comes around, and you know what I'm saying, you get the opportunity to be around brothers and things of that nature. Brothers ain't trying to hear none of that. Oh, I can't make it because of XYZ. Brothers ain't trying to hear that I'm a or I'm a vegan, or none of that. Brothers ain't trying to hear, oh, I don't drink and so on and so forth. No, if you are a servant, if you are a soldier of Yahawashi, obedience is required, man. By the way,
yeah, but
it's called Malbec. Malbec. That's what they drink. The Argentinians and the Chileans. You know, Naphthali, the tribe of Naphthali is Malbec.
Con, also let me just grab this because I'm here already. Deuteronomy 33 and verse 23. The latter of it says, "Possess thou the west and the south." Now, if you look at the map of Naphtali, it wasn't possessing the west and the south. Of course, you could go south, east, west, north. No, it's saying where they were going to dwell at in the latter times, meaning now. Because they're what? They're the South America and
That's
also
right.
on the west of that continent. That's what that means. Possessing the west and south. So that's what it's talking about. It's a lot of land. The Chileans, the Argentinians, and those countries in that area.
That's right.
Those area. All right.
Con. Something else I had. Oh.
Go back to Genesis 49 and 21.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 49. It's like it's loading. Genesis 49 and 21. It says, Naphthali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words.
He giveth goodly words. Now there's the Incas. The Incas dwelt in South America, in that area. And the Incas, there's something called the Inca Proverbs. The Incan Proverbs. The way they speak, they're fluent when they speak to you. Like they know exactly what they want to bring out. They're very smooth with their delivery and speech. So, yeah, the Incan Proverbs, and you brothers can type that in. We ain't got to go into, of course, you know what I'm saying, get all the details of it. But they give it goodly words. Right? No, we are, yeah.
Yep. Con. Hey Yeshaya, could you go into like a characteristics of Argentinians or Chileans? Either one, they're the same people. Either one, because when you went into the characteristics of a Brazilian, I think it was earlier, that was very important because once again, this is how you specify. This is how you identify the tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Barakatah. This is how you identify the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because what you can consider our personalities, man, which not all brothers know exactly what tribe we come from. Like for example, I claim Benjamin, but I might be a Gadite or a Reubenite. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But going into the personalities and the characteristics of these different people, you could be like, oh man, because I was looking at an article. Argentinians and Chileans, they're also known for for festivals and parties and things of that nature. Once again, Jake in general, we're very celebratory people. We love celebrations, man. We love partying. We love festivals.
God.
Oh man, this you got it on Yeshaya?
It's giving me trouble. Go ahead if you got it.
I got something here. Let's see if I can find Argentina it says here, Argentina is a big place and its culture. Look what it's showing here. It's showing them on horses. Cultural imprint is even bigger. Of course, the tantalizing tango may be the country's most famous cultural export, but the full range of Argentina's culture encompasses so much more. Here you'll find a distinctive blend of Latin America and indigenous traditions, often overshadowed by a strong influence of European customs, which that's off of
Right.
course. It says here some of it says
I'll select it. I'll make mention of this. They was taken over, just like Brazil. They was taken over by the Spanish and the Portuguese. You know,
the Spanish.
God.
Right. They had what you call it was the Portuguese, but it was mainly the Spanish, which are all Edomites.
Right.
Something called the Spanish Inquisition.
Mm.
And they went to hunt down anybody that was practicing Judaism, as they call Judaism.
Right.
Okay. And they also had they had the Spanish Inquisition. Well, that in that area was like the Spanish Inquisition. Right. And also I believe the Spanish Inquisition in over here in America somewhere or in the West. But it says here, from cosmopolitan cities like Buenos Aires to the soaring snow-capped Andes Mountains and the rainforest surrounding Iguazu Falls, the diversity of Argentina's culture can vary widely from place to place. It says here, vast land. Dance the tango.
Yep.
Hold on, it's a lot here. Let me
Con. It's all right. We could go ahead and drop it there. I want to bring this out real quick. Because the brother has showed the picture of the Chileans on the horses, and we got that in the article talking about the gaucho, man. They tended to horses, you know. Right. They did tend to horses, man. Okay. This is the book, and just to prove that, you know, Jake in general, you know what I'm saying? Like once again, that celebratory nature. This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6, and I'm gonna just let me see. I'm gonna just get to the point. This is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 14. It says, "And David danced before the Lord Yahawah with all his might, and David was girded with the linen ephod." Now King David and his army just conquered who the hell was it? I think it was a Hamitic tribe, but they just conquered
the Philistines.
The Philistines. Yeah, right. They just conquered the Philistines. You know, and the scriptures say David danced before the Lord with all his might. Meaning what? He was boogieing down. He was getting down, bro. You know, because what? Yahawah has delivered the enemy into our hands. Okay, with the mighty hand. All right. And then verse 16, 2 Samuel 6:16, it says, "And as the ark of the Lord Yahawah came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart." Because, well, we ain't got to go into the whole thing, but Michal was the wife of King David, who was King Saul's daughter. And if you know King Saul, he despised King David, right? God. And then it says, verse 17, "And they brought in the ark of the Lord Yahawah and set it in his place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord." So what? He was cooking up goats and lambs, bullocks. It was like, don't it sound like a barbecue today? It sounds like a barbecue, but what? Jake's sacrifices on the side don't mean shit. The scriptures tell you in the book of Hebrews that what? Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. If so, then I would give it. All right. And that's going into Yahawashi being the ultimate and perfect sacrifice. But once again, it sound like Jake having a barbecue, having a block party or festival or whatever the case. Then what? He's giving thanks to the Lord, man. All right. So what? All of our people, all of the tribes do the same exact thing, bro. They do the same exact thing. Right. That's why one name in Israel, because you got Judah, Yahawah. Okay, you got Benjamin, son of the right, Bunyam Yun. All right, you got Naphthali, wrestling. You got Gad, troop, or warrior. Okay, one name in Israel represents really all of the tribes, if I could say it like that. One name represents all of the tribes, but they are each respective tribe, man. Yahawah gave them that specific name for a reason through Jacob, who was later name changed to Israel, Yashar Allah.
God.
That might have been it on Genesis 49 with Naphthali.
God.
is real. We could go into it in depth, even more, but the point has been made. I mean, the point's been made. So yeah, we went into the tribe of Gad, went into the tribe of Asher, and went into the tribe of Naphthali.
That's right.
So, Lord willing, your brothers are edified.
God.
Okay, brothers. Now, of course, brothers bring out different points. You're gonna hear another brother somewhere make a video of Naphthali and bring out another point that we didn't bring out here. And that's why it's always important for younger viewers or for viewers that want to be in tune with knowing the tribes and their characteristics and going into these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's listen, watch these videos. Watch these videos. Just don't, oh, he said this. Watch these videos and look up these things. Look, you're not gonna look up everything in a 2-hour span. You can't do it. It's impossible.
Right.
Sometimes you feel, oh, why didn't I bring this out? I could have brought this out. I could have brought that out. But everything's been brought out the way the Most High wanted us to bring it out.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Anybody
want to close out, and they can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and close out. Lord's willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. We're going to go ahead and give all honor, glory, and praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐄, Qadash.
Qadash.
All right. Shalawam to the hopeful elect. Shalawam.
Shalawam to the hopeful elect.